Have you ever noticed that your energy stays the same no matter how much you work on yourself, no matter how many routines you try, or how early you wake up, or how much you know, your energy still stays the same? Same exhaustion, same habits that you keep trying to outgrow, same invisible glass ceiling on your vitality, your presence, your capacity. At some point, a question creeps in. What's wrong with me? And in this episode, I want to tell you something clearly. Nothing is wrong with you. I want to introduce you to something I call the vitality container, because it explains why effort alone isn't creating the shift you're trying to make. When I speak about your vitality container, I'm not just talking about your energy levels. I'm talking about that inner architecture that decides how much life, how much rest, how much pleasure and visibility and expansion your body feels safe enough to allow. This container is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, and nervous system based, and it's deeply conditioned. In yogic psychology, there's a word for the subtle mental patterns that shape this container, and they're called vikalpas. And vikalpas are not thoughts you're consciously choosing. They're this background assumption running your life. And they live in chitta, the field of the mind, as a type of vritti, mental fluctuation. And they sound like, I have to hold it all together, and if I slow down, everything will fall apart. Rest has to be earned. I can't let go. People rely on me. If I'm fully myself, I'll lose belonging. These aren't logical beliefs, they're survival strategies. And let me tell you, they live in your body, deeply embedded in this autonomic, often subconscious, driven by the nervous system to ensure safety. But when stress becomes chronic, they get stuck in the on position. Nothing in your body is healing when you're in that constant state of stress. So even when you learn more, even when you refine your routines, even when you meditate and eat well, these vikalpas quietly set the limits of your vitality container. Your system says, this is as much energy I feel safe with. This much rest is allowed. This much visibility is okay. And anything beyond that can feel like a threat, and the body contracts. And that's why you expand and then you collapse back into this baseline vitality. Your vitality container is your body's internal set point for aliveness, and it lives in two main places: your nervous system and your subconscious. And it was formed long before you had any wellness goals or self-care rituals or personal development language. Your body learned very early, this is how much is safe, and this is how much is allowed, and this is how much more feels dangerous. So when you try to grow beyond your capacity without addressing safety, your nervous system pulls you back, not to punish you, but to protect you. And I want to share with you something that most women miss. This expansion, more energy, more visibility, more leadership, more rest can feel unsafe to the nervous system that learned that being seen caused judgment, or having needs caused rejection, or resting caused guilt, shining caused separation. So even when consciously you desire more, your body may be resisting. And when it resists, it doesn't shout, it whispers through control, urgency, fatigue, procrastination, self-abandonment, overgiving, numbing, freezing. This isn't just self-sabotage, it's protection. And when you reach the edge of your vitality container, the body usually responds in one of four ways. You'll either freeze, you feel tired, foggy, disconnected. You know what to do, but you can't move. Fawn, you overgive. You'll prioritize others' need above yours. Flight, you stay busy. You're learning, tweaking, preparing, productive, but hidden. You fight, you push harder, more discipline, more force, without nourishment or embodiment. None of these are wrong. They are intelligent responses. The problem is trying to out-discipline them. There's one yogic mythology that I return to again and again when teaching about vitality and ease and abundance. And it comes from the story of the Samudra Mahandra, the churning of the cosmic ocean. The devas and the asuras, they came together to churn the depths in search of Amrita, the nectar of immortality. But the nectar doesn't appear first. As the ocean is stirred, initially what rises is poison, fear, chaos, old residues. This is the part of the story that we often forget. Before abundance, discomfort arises. Before any expansion, contraction becomes visible. And Shiva doesn't destroy the poison. He doesn't reject it or bypass it. He simply allows it to be swallowed and he holds it there. And then something remarkable happens. From the churning waters emerges Lakshmi, and she's this beautiful lotus flower, like radiating brilliance like the sun and the moon, the embodiment of abundance. And she appears when the system becomes stable enough to receive her. She's not a reward of effort. She's that natural expression of alignment. So Lakshmi, she represents truth, wholeness, because she embodies the balance between the material abundance and the spiritual fulfillment. And she represents this holistic approach to life that combines external success with that internal well-being and the feeling of being supported by life itself. In the body, Lakshmi emerges as ease instead of urgency, and nourishment instead of depletion. This is the moment I want you to recognize yourself. When old patterns arise, it doesn't mean that you're moving backwards. It means that the waters are being stirred. And when your body asks for safety, it's not blocking your abundance, it's preparing the ground for it. Allow yourself a minute to just pause this video, take a deep breath and connect with what abundance feels like to you, what this radiance and this wholeness feels like to you in your body. Vitality doesn't come from pushing harder. It comes from becoming steady enough to let Lakshmi rise. And when she does, this energy, it stops feeling forced and it starts to feel natural. Life begins to feel alive. So here's a next step for you to take this inquiry. When do you feel your energy collapse? Is it when you are outsourcing your energy, you're fearful of the outcomes, or you feel a sense of lack? What happens right before you pull back? Are you fearful? What am I afraid would happen if I stayed open, rested, visible, and alive? And then ask, what did your body learn early about being seen, needing support, and slowing down? And allow the questions to come gently and tenderly. We need to cultivate that deep listening and reflection and build that self-trust and inner safety without criticism and judgment. So here's the reframe that I want you to hear clearly. Your exhaustion is not a personal failure. It's a sign that your system has learned to live away from ease and inside these protective vikalpas. In yoga and tantra traditions, beneath these mental patterns is another layer at your core, which is your bliss body, the Anandamaya kosha. And bliss here doesn't mean excitement or pleasure, it means wholeness and a felt sense of being okay in your skin. And healing doesn't begin with overriding these patterns, these vikalpas. It begins when they start to soften, when you start to become tender. You place an intention, and this allows these vikalpas to start to loosen once they feel as if there's no place for them to hide. And this bliss body then expands, and that becomes more accessible for you, more steady, more natural, more present. Okay, take a breath with me and let this land in your body. I give myself more permission to live in ease, in bliss, in my natural energy, in my natural rhythm. And my energy rises when I stop wanting to override my nature. This is the path of the vital woman. Rising means turning into your true nature of bliss, not pushing harder. It means becoming steady enough to stay with yourself, even when the world around you feels shaky. Women inside this container often tell me that they sleep deeper, they experience less brain fog, less digestive distress, and feel calmer and more grounded. They stop cycling through extremes. They trust themselves again. I'm not going to give you a bunch of Ayurvedic rules to follow. It's a sacred, vital system which I've been teaching for the past 5 years, where you feel safe, where you feel seen. And inside Vital Woman Rising, we work with the nervous system, the subconscious, the body, and the feminine rhythm, so that your vitality can rise without collapse. And if this spoke to you today, sister, and something inside of you, then share in the comments what landed for you. Where do you feel you are in your own vitality container right now? And if you're ready to rise slowly, safely, and fully, you'll find the Vital Woman Rising linked below. Thank you so much for watching. Sending lots of love.